Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have no sense of guilt? Some people immediately label them psychopaths. But is it true that someone is born a psychopath? Or does the trait develop over time? The answer is not as simple as we might think. First, we need to understand what a psychopath is. Psychopathy doesn't mean someone has a mental disorder, as is often portrayed in movies. Most psychopaths actually appear perfectly normal. They can work, study, and even have families. However, they have a slightly different way of thinking. One of the main characteristics is a low ability to feel empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and feel the emotions of others. In psychopaths, this ability is often significantly lower. That's why they often appear cold or indifferent. So what causes someone to have this trait? We'll discuss the causes now. Scientists have discovered that there is no single cause of psychopathy. Instead, the condition is thought to arise from a combination of interconnected factors. One frequently studied factor is genetics. This means that a person may inherit certain tendencies from their family. However, having genetics doesn't necessarily mean they will become a psychopath. The environment in which a person grows up also plays a crucial role. Children who grow up in a loving environment are more likely to learn to understand others' emotions. Conversely, negative childhood experiences can affect emotional development. For example, experiencing prolonged neglect or growing up in an environment characterized by frequent violence and conflict. Such experiences can affect how the brain develops. Several studies have also found differences in the parts of the brain that regulate emotions. One of these is the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for recognizing fear and emotions. In some people with psychopathic traits, this area may function differently. However, scientists are still investigating how all these factors interact to shape a person's personality. So are all psychopaths necessarily criminals? The answer is no. Not all people with psychopathic traits commit crimes. Many of them live seemingly normal lives. Some even manage to build very successful careers. They can work as business people, lawyers, doctors, or other professions. They often appear confident and able to make quick decisions. In situations that would make others panic, they are able to remain calm. However, on the other hand, they can also have difficulty understanding the feelings of others. As a result, their social relationships can sometimes be more difficult. Psychopaths are also often equated with sociopaths. However, the two are not completely the same. Although they have some similarities, the causes and characteristics can be different. Therefore, we should not label someone carelessly. Only a professional can make an assessment through a thorough examination. After understanding the various contributing factors, we can see that psychopathy is not a condition that appears overnight. Personality develops through a long process that begins in early childhood and continues throughout life. For that reason, we should never judge someone based on just a single behavior or first impression. Someone who is quiet, emotionally reserved, or naturally serious is not necessarily a psychopath. Likewise, making mistakes or poor decisions does not automatically mean a person has psychopathic traits. In psychology, a diagnosis is made through clinical interviews, careful observation, and scientifically validated assessment tools. This process requires professional knowledge, extensive experience, and well-established clinical standards. That is why information found on the internet can never replace an evaluation by a qualified mental health professional. The more we understand psychology, the less likely we are to believe myths, misconceptions, and misleading stereotypes. Knowledge allows us to see people more objectively, with greater understanding, fairness, and empathy. In conclusion, psychopathy is influenced by a combination of genetics, brain development, and life experiences. There is no single cause that can fully explain why someone develops psychopathic traits. Understanding the scientific evidence is far more valuable than believing stereotypes or social stigma. I hope this video has helped you better understand how science explains human behavior. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please share it so more people can learn about psychology through facts rather than myths. Don't forget to subscribe for more educational content, and I'll see you in the next video.